Hello everyone, this is David, and tonight's movie that we watched is the 2012 movie Parasitic. Now, Parasitic is a very straightforward and basic movie. It is a bunch of people locked in a house, effectively, with a monster. And we'll go over that like what the monster can do right now. So, the parasite is a really weird thing. It allegedly comes from space because in the beginning of the movie we see a meteor fall down and it gets into the fish apparently. And this woman has the fish and she gets sick. She stops vomiting up black goo everywhere. And then this giant worm-like thing bursts out of her throat. Not like comes up her throat, like bursts out of it. So it's like coming out from like her, like over her chest as opposed to up through her mouth. And it's this big worm thing, and it can open up on one end and shoot out like this proboscis that can infect other people with a parasite that controls their minds. In addition to that, as time goes on, it gets bigger and kind of changes what it looks like. It starts off looking like a worm, ends up looking like a fish, and at the very end of the movie, surprise, surprise, it's huge, and it's kind of a little weird. This one's, like I said, pretty straightforward. This review is probably going to be pretty short on account of this film's really simple, and honestly, none of the characters are really all that memorable. It's not a very good film. I only give this one I don't know, maybe a 3 out of 10. Didn't really catch me. The monster wasn't all that impressive. Yada, yada, yada. Alright, so basically, the plot happens. A meteorite comes down, blows up a satellite, causes that, and then lands in the water off the coast of Florida. Fishermen catch some fish that are infected by the parasite that apparently was in the meteor, allegedly. Chopped up, they basically sell the fish. Fish goes into basically the fish gets like turned into sushi. Woman that owns a club eats the sushi. She gets sick after they close the club and it's shut down for the night. Characters that are the people that basically are in charge of closing up shop, so to speak. People in charge of closing up shop are stuck there, allegedly locked in because of the way the club works. It's kind of weird. With what becomes this parasite, the girl that gets sick basically the parasite pops out pretty quickly, and she runs around beginning to infect people. She infects this one girl in the attic, and you don't see really much of anything. That's the thing about this. Like, it's your basic people getting picked off one by one, and there's like a large cast of characters. There's basically like 2 black guys, a big fat like white guy. There's like a nerdy guy, and there's a bunch of stupid women. There's like, I want to say like 3 stupid women and 1 like smart woman, like 1 main character girl. Because that's always great. Have a bunch of non-distinct, interchangeable, unlikable characters, and 1 character that's less unlikable than the others, but still not great. Suffice it to say, they go around. It takes a while for them to find what's going on. The monster starts infecting a couple people. The nerdy kid ends up lighting himself on fire somehow and burning to death. It was a little weird, rather than turn to a zombie like the other people. And this culminates in basically a zombie rush on the remaining people. And they come to the conclusion that we have to stop this from getting out because this parasite could go nuts and take over the world. Well, they do that. They run over to where the parasite is. The main character girl hits it with a bat up against the wall, smashes it, and stomps on it, kills it, allegedly. All the zombies drop dead, and they go off. Meanwhile, a little worm crawls out of the parasite and goes off to continue apparently its life cycle. Then we get a cut of this other girl that shows up in the morning. She comes in, looking around for anybody, can't find anyone. Finds the dead parasite on the ground, but doesn't find the bodies, which at first I thought it was strange. Why you wouldn't find the bodies. Finds the one girl in the room, or one girl in the room, bathroom, with the giant parasite. Excuse me. Turns around, the parasite's huge now. It's like the size of the wall. It's completely different. It's like an insect instead of like a worm or a fish. And it's going nuts. And that's where the movie ends, with that giant parasite doing that. So that's Parasitic. The plot here is bare bones. It's monster in a haunted house. The monster attacks aren't all that interesting. About all that ever happens is someone gets attacked by something and it cuts away. Other than that, it's really kind of unimpressive. So at the end of the day, I don't really recommend this one all that much. About the only thing it has going for it is nudity, and even that is like gets old hat pretty quick. I mean, like I said, the one redeeming factor is the chick that's infected runs around basically naked the whole film. But you know what? There's a much better film where you get to see that. That movie's Life Force. Go watch that movie instead of this one. This is basically bottom of the bucket in terms of budget and effects. I mean, there's a little bit of gore, there's some nudity, but other than that, the ending made no sense because we really never got a speck of what the monster wants, what it's doing, or how it works. Just does what the fuck ever, I guess. Anyway, so I don't really recommend this one. Pass it by and let it go. Basically, is my opinion on this one. Not very good. So, alright, folks. Good night.